Welcome to Week in Horror.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
The only podcast that will feed your horror need.
The need to feed.
With JL.
Yeah, I'm a fucking masochist. I'll watch that shit.
Eugene.
Somebody has to be the sex symbol, I'm sorry.
Alex.
Shit, I just demonetized this forever.
And Johnny O.
How do you like that shit? Got half of the monologue before unmuting myself. Golly, it's one of them fucking days.
With industry guests.
Hi, this is Richard Oakes, Director of Host.
Hey, this is Adam Leader, Director of Host.
This is Matthew Mark Hunter.
I'm Don Ellie.
And you're listening to Week in Horror.
And you're listening to Week in Horror.
And this is Week in Horror.
And you're listening to Week in Horror.
Welcome to prime time, bitch!
News, trivia, and more.
One by one, we will take you.
Join our live show Wednesdays at 7 Central, youtube.com/weekinhorror, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Week in Horror. Stay scared.
All right, welcome back, horror fans. It is Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, and that means it is time for another episode of the Week in Horror podcast, the only podcast that everyone's dying to be on. Thank you for joining our live show, and for all of our podcast listeners, be sure to check us out so you too can interact directly with the show. This week, we are debuting a slightly new format as Week in Horror takes the time to sit down with the cast, the entire cast of the award-winning horror short, Nail Gun. Thank you all so much for joining us. I am JL, and with me tonight are Eugene and Johnny O.
What's up, everybody?
Hey.
All right, so there's a huge, giant story behind this thing, and I know that some people out there may not be aware of it. So, Eugene, you're the architect of this incredible success. So, give us the rundown on this whole big thing that suddenly just kind of like exploded.
I mean, it was honestly things like fell in perfectly that it just kind of worked out. So I wanted to do a good size budgeted short film around May.
Time out from the game. Time out from the game.
Time out. Hang on.
You sound like a robot, Eugene.
Oh,
yeah, like really, really hard. Is your connection okay?
It should be. How do I sound now?
There you go.
You sound okay. Okay.
Okay. So, before my internet dies, I really want to do something in May, and we'll end up having we already talked about kind of
Eugene, you're roboting really hard. Not even we can understand you.
Yeah.
Am I still roboting again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. What kind of hotel is this, Eugene?
Well, tell you what. While Eugene's looking at that, I'll do my best to run this down. So basically, how this whole thing came about was, in essence, our lovely patrons enabled us to start doing things like having special industry guests on the show. And one of those incredible industry guests was the phenomenal Lloyd Cryer. Lloyd Cryer is the founder of the Texas Frightmare Weekend. It's the biggest horror convention back in Texas. And he's been doing, I think they're going into like the 17th or 18th year. It's amazing stuff. I love going down there. I'm a big fan of the convention. Anyway, he produced back in the day, back in the mid 80s, a low-budget slasher film called the Nail Gun Massacre. And it was directed by an amazing dude. It was Terry Lofton and Bill Leslie. Thank you, Johnny. And these guys, they've made this movie, and it kind of flew under the radar, but it's fun. It's a fun, sleazy, violent little slasher film about a killer with a nail gun goes around smoking a bunch of people. It's hilarious. And when Terry, unfortunately, when he passed away, he kind of bequeathed the rights to the film to Lloyd. And Lloyd has, every year at the convention, Lloyd will set up a little display and he'll like sell DVDs of the Nail Gun Massacre, kind of like, keeping Terry's dream alive, because it was Terry's dream to always make a movie. And he got to realize it with Nail Gun Massacre. So fast forward all these years later, Lloyd is on the show and he's talking about Texas Frightmare and his history in the industry and all kinds of cool stuff, because he's such a contributing person to the industry itself, bringing fans together with the celebrities that they love. And we were chatting with Lloyd after the fact, and it was just kind of like, after we did the After Dark session, and we were chatting with Lloyd, and Lloyd was kind of like, I'm kind of looking to get back into producing everything. I just don't really know where to go. And I was like, well, what do you think about doing? He's like, he said he really wanted to do a remake of Nail Gun Massacre. And we were like, well, holy shit. Well, I'm spitballing here. I was kind of like, and I just took a chance. I just, went for it, because I typically don't like risking things, and my co-hosts are always
okay, hang on. You're missing out a big part. You're glazing over a huge thing here. So for months, all of us, Eugene, myself, and Alex had been berating Jay. I was like, dude, just ask. The worst they could say is no. So when Lloyd's all, I'm looking to redo Nail Gun, I'm looking at Eugene. Eugene's looking at me, and we're both looking at JL like, hey, dude.
Fucking say something. Say it. So I did. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it down. I'm just going to throw the gauntlet down. And I was like, hey, Lloyd, Eugene is an award-winning director. And not to my own horn, but I've won awards for my writing. So I know I'm a pretty good writer. And he owns the rights. So, let's make a sandwich here. And he loved it. He was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's see what can come up. It's like, fantastic. So I started working on the script, and I was like, I'm going to make the script. I'm going to write it and get it done, get it perfect. I'm going to honor Terry's vision, and I'm going to, do right by him and do right by Lloyd. And I'm going to, and if Lloyd signs off on the script, we'll take the steps and we'll forward from there. So I'm about midway through the script, and Eugene contacts me. He was like, hey, are you aware of the Rack Focus Film Festival? And I was like, I wasn't aware of that one. I've been out of the competition scene, so I didn't know about it. And he was kind of like, I'm thinking about entering this thing. Do you think you could come up with something? Do you think you could do something with this? And I was like, sure. Well, what do you want? He's like, well, I need like a 10-minute short film. It's like, well, I have some ideas. But then it kind of popped. It was like, oh, why don't we do, and Eugene recommended, I was like, could you do like a 10-minute proof of concept of Nail Gun? Just take the feature, squeeze it down to 10 minutes, throw something together. Could you do that? And I was like, fuck yeah, I can do that. Easy. So I was like, I think, what was it? Eugene was like a couple of days. It was like less than a week. And I was kind of like, oh yeah, we'll put this together. Boom. Oh, yeah. So I jump in there. I named everybody in after friends I've made on YouTube. All the characters named after my YouTube friends, Johnny being one of them. So the real Johnny is in the movie, is in the short as the bouncer. And the fake Johnny was, I think, Gabriel was fake Johnny. Or Dylan. Yeah, Gabriel.
Yeah, it's Gabriel.
Gabriel was fake Johnny. That's right. Okay. So I put together
Gabriel. Fake Johnny.
Fake Johnny. So I put together the proof of concept. I gave it to Eugene. Eugene's like, this is good. Let's move forward with this. And he took it and he ran with it, because I'm the writer. I write, I hand it off, and I'm done. He runs with it. Next thing we know, thanks to our amazing patrons and individuals of the crew that believed in it and just like, yeah, let's do this. Like Jorg was indispensable in this production. Holy shit, we're shooting a short film. So literally, it just kind of like snowballed into this thing. So now we're shooting the short film. He finally gets it into Rack Focus, and Eugene's efforts, the efforts of the cast, who everyone will be meeting tonight as we bring them in. I think it'll be really cool. Result in Eugene winning Best Director at the Rack Focus Film Festival, and Nail Gun winning Best Film at the Rack Focus Film Festival, which I got the news and was like, what? Huh? I mean, I wasn't expecting that. I was kind of like, because I mean, you typically get, film festivals, you either going to get like really trashy horror, or you're going to get like things that you're like, oh, my short film has a purpose and it has a message to say. And you typically on some of these big ones, you can go up against some really heavy shit. And I was like, maybe we'll do good. Maybe we'll get like best effects or best something, or it'll be like, hey, or maybe like most unique, whatever. But to take the prize, holy fuck.
So all I heard was JL has no faith in you, Eugene.
I have absolute faith in you. I have absolute faith in Eugene. Why do you do that? Why did you do that?
To watch you squirm. That's why.
But that's the amazing story behind this short film that we made. So, in kind of like a celebration of that, and we felt it was a good opportunity, we changed up the format of the show a little bit. We are not going to be talking about specific films that released this week like we normally do. We are going to talk solely about Nail Gun. We're going to talk with the cast. They're all here to join us, and we're going to have a blast. So, without further ado, let's start bringing them in.
Let's bring them in. So let's start with.
Oh, wait. Clip first. I thought we were going to do clip.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We're going to play. So,
right.
For those in the chat who have not seen it, we are going to play the clip. And I totally skipped over that in the script that was actually written in there, and I just totally spaced on it. So, for everybody who's not seen it, here is a clip from the award-winning short, Nail Gun.
And we can say that because it's true.
And we can say it because it's true. This is true.
What do you want, man? Who the fuck is that? Oh, what the fuck? I don't fucking know her! You fucking psycho! Whoa, man! Whoa! Okay.
Muted. Sorry, I was fucking muted. I muted myself. Sorry about that.
You muted all of us.
Yeah, I want to make sure there were no dogs barking in the background.
Well, you should put your bitches outside then.
Brutal. Jeez. So yes, that is some good shit, and just a small taste of the awesomeness that everyone created. So without further ado, Johnny, let's bring them in so that our live audience can meet these fine and talented individuals.
Yes, let's do it. Let's start with the guy in the chair we all know and love as the No More Kneecaps. You might recognize him from Crank 2.
You got to speak on his right side though, because
because left side is shot. Again, you might know him from Crank 2. Let me introduce Art Sue to everyone. Everybody say yay!
Yay!
There he is.
Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome, Art.
Hello.
Fantastic job.
Very good to see all of you again. Hello, everybody tuning in.
All right.
Very happy to be here.
Excuse me. Hang on.
Johnny.
That's what happens when you... I got dogs that won't leave me alone right now. They're jumping on me. Anyway, so you might also recognize... I don't know if you're going to recognize our next guest. But Dylan Todd is here as well. He plays...
Tony.
There he is.
Yeah, do you guys hear me okay? Excellent.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Dude, you look like you're in like a speakeasy or something. It's like all
I know.
smoky and
Well, I mean,
shit.
the sun's setting through this window right now, so
No, it looks cool.
Mood lighting
makes it look like God's coming into my room.
We also have the bald sensation, Gabriel Parker.
Yeah.
There he is. There is fake Johnny. All right. And last but not least, I'm not going to say anything. We're just going to introduce Katarina Mahan.
Hello.
Hey. All right. And obviously, the star of the show is me. Even
yes, Johnny was the incredible bouncer who basically triggers the chain of events and by kicking them out of the club.
That's not fair. I was doing my job.
So thank you, each and every one of you, for making time to come on the show. I know all of you have very busy schedules, so we're glad that you can be here, especially after such a huge win this past Sunday. It's an absolute blast. And like I said, everybody who has seen it, all of our patrons who see it, have loved the short. And you guys were absolutely amazing. Every one of you. You just brought it. So thank you. And as the humble writer over here, you guys, I mean, I couldn't imagine my words being brought to life by a better crew and a better cast. You guys were fucking amazing, and I'm just honored that to be a part of the process with you guys. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
Well, thank you guys. You guys were awesome.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, yeah. So we're gonna go around. We're gonna go around the room, and everybody's gonna tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll start with you, Art, and then we'll work our way around.
Yeah. What do you want to know? What are we going to start off?
You give us. We want to know. We want to know. Yeah, the whole thing. Where you were born? Was it a full moon? We need to know. We need to know size of your foot. No, just anything. Just give us a little bit about yourself there.
Yeah, I'm originally from New York City. I was born in Flushing, Queens, in the 70s, and grew up in New York, grew up in the suburbs, went out to Long Island I got sent to military school when I was about 13 years old, just being a little rebel back in Queens, and spent 4 years there, spent some time in Boston, some time overseas. I started acting in 2004 is when I really started getting into the game, and it's been an interesting ride. It's been fun. It's been ups and downs. It's been a roller coaster, and here I am today with this award-winning film, with this fantastic casting crew, and that's kind of my story up until now.
Awesome. Let's go. Let's shift gears and go to the one who just happens to have a problem with nails. We're gonna go to Katarina.
Oh, well, I don't know. I was born. Oh, bye, Dylan. Bye. I guess he doesn't care about my story.
I'm sorry. As soon as Katarina started talking, I was like, I'm good.
You're just sour because I murdered you first.
Yeah, I knew for once I would always be the first one to be.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, my bad. I thought everyone's seen it. Well, whatever. Anyway, I was born in California, but I moved out there when I was really young. So I actually was raised in Minnesota for the most part, and I recently just moved down here back in April 1st. I know, April Fools. Everyone thought. I was so tempted to make it a big prank and quit my job, pack everything up, and then just leave my driveway because I was living with my parents at the time, and then just come right back and say April Fools. No, but I came down here in April, and this was actually my first time acting. I mean, I've never done any plays. This is my first time on camera, anything. I've done workshops and stuff like that, but this is my first time actually acting. And I was really excited for the opportunity. I remember when Eugene contacted me back and say, "Hey, you're in. Here's the script and all that." I'm just like, "Are you serious? I mean, me? I mean, did you send the email to the wrong person?"
At least you got a script.
No.
Well, I think I speak. I think I speak for everybody when I say that you nailed it.
That joke.
God, so shit. Look at so shit.
Every time I hear that,
All right, and right
Johnny messaged me. I was like, "Why am I only in the action sections? I have no dialogue. You don't need any dialogue."
I didn't know. I did. I had no idea. So what's going on? I'm not even in like the parenthetical part. What the fuck, man? All right, let's go to Dylan. Dylan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I was born in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm from the Midwest. Shout out Midwest. And I went to Columbia College Chicago for acting school. And I stayed there for about, I'd say about 3-4 years, tried to work professionally there for a little bit. And then I've been living in the Midwest my whole life, and I just wanted a change. I needed to get out. So I got a gig in Texas about 2 years ago. And originally I thought it was just going to be for that gig. But then, of course, 2020 happened, and we all know how that went. And I was down here. I met my girlfriend down here, and we moved in together and came across this script. It's funny how I came across it. Was an actor friend of mine sent me this submission casting call that he found on Facebook for this project. And I read the synopsis and the characters, and I was like, I'm in. I'm so in. I'm absolutely, because I just was so drawn to it. And then one thing led to another, and here we are. So yeah. So that's me in a nutshell right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And last but not least, the guy who had the most opportunities to walk away with an award, Gabriel Parker. Gabriel, you were in everything.
You was in 3 freaking films.
So every time I look up, I was like, wait a minute. What's going on? Somebody's stacking the deck here.
Irons in the fire. You have to have a lot. If you only have one, I mean.
Hey, it worked out for me this time. I only had one.
Films, it's easy to at least win, you know?
I'll just buy all the lotto numbers. Then I can't lose.
Then I can't lose.
Hey, everyone. My name's Gabriel Parker. I've been acting for about 10 years. I went to college for it at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Did a lot of theater work in the beginning, doing plays like Peter and the Starcatcher, and this, that, and the other. And then I found myself way out in LA about 4 years ago. I spent 3 years in LA acting, and even did Halloween Horror Nights in 2019, if you know what that is, at Universal Studios, which was one of the funnest things I've ever done before. Got to see the Kyoto brothers from Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Nice.
And they saw me in the whole officer outfit, and they were just blown away. And so I've just been a big horror movie fan forever, but I could never land a role. And like Dylan, I saw it on Facebook. I was in Dallas, and I was like, dude, I have to get on this. So it's funny though. I auditioned for Art's role, and I fucking I went nails to the wall. My audition tapes usually are just me in a plain shirt, white wall in the background. For this one, I literally was him in the movie. I was chained to a metal. I used my buddy's shop. And I was like, hey man, I gotta nail this audition. And I got chains wrapped around me. I took my shirt off. I was like, I'm going balls to the wall, showing Eugene, hey, I want this. And he was fortunate enough to be like, hey man, you know what? I loved your audition. Let's have you audition for another role. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm down, you know. But yeah, and then up to now we're award winning, man, which is all congrats to Eugene and the rest of the cast and crew. That was awesome.
Very surreal. Here I literally was just looking for a project to put on my reel. And then I didn't even know about Rack Focus either. And then once we were at the award ceremony and Israel was kind of saying exactly what it was, I was like, oh, this is a legit thing. And then we won, and it just feels very surreal.
So
and the chances
I
of it being somebody's backyard. So
right.
Exactly.
The second that I knew that we had a legitimate shot was when I forget which judge it was talking about the first kind of horror film where the guy didn't know he was a killer, and they said,
They
"Hey, you
wanted
know,
more gore.
yeah," they said, I wanted more blood and guts." I'm thinking, yes.
I was talking about that with the others too. I was like, oh, they're going to be happy with ours. That was just to whet their appetite.
As soon as the judge said that, I could see Kasim just squirming in his chair. And I was
Yeah, he was. I was sitting next to him.
Oh, he was ready.
All right. So here we go. We're gonna do a little Q&A here for just a wee bit. So what is it about this film that kind of drew you guys in? Exactly.
I was desperate. I was just auditioning for random stuff, and I actually got contacted back for the first time ever. I actually auditioned for another one of the films in the Rack Focus and didn't get it. So when I auditioned for Nail Gun, I was like, and Eugene, I was like, okay. I didn't even know it was for Rack Focus originally. I didn't know what I was walking into. I didn't know who Eugene was or anything.
You know what? That's exactly how everybody meets Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
So don't worry about it.
I remember. So I did this is how close it was. I think I did the audition in April when I moved down here, late April. I was still living in a extended stay hotel. And by the time we started filming, I finally moved into an actual apartment. So it was like, if I waited like another month to move down here, I wouldn't be in this film. Wow. That's how that's
Right
scary to me.
Yeah, right on.
What about you,
I don't
Art?
see anybody else that could have played that role besides you.
Oh gosh, you guys.
Just saying.
Knocked it out of the park. I gotta give it to you. That was,
agree.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I had connected to Eugene through social media networks. So there was a gentleman, Brian Patterson, in Oklahoma, who we came into each other's orbit, and he was connected to some other people I've collaborated with, Jason Trost, whom I've shot several movies with, and a very talented makeup artist. Brian and I kind of had a Zoom kind of connection, and we just kind of connected there. And he told me to hop on a meeting the following week and meet Eugene. And I was very grateful to do that. I hopped on there, and I think after that meeting, I kind of realized that their little filmmaking team kind of knew what they were doing, and I just kept an eye out for stuff that they were putting up and posting. And I saw the audition on Eugene's social media, and knew right away that it was something that I kind of was interested in. The role wasn't written actually for something that I thought I was suitable for. It was kind of like people in their 20s and kind of frattish type of role description. And but I wanted to just kind of get on his radar. So I asked if I could send in an audition tape, and he said it'd be okay, and I sent it in, and I'm grateful that he went with my take on the role. And
well, to be fair, when you said that you were born in the 70s, I thought you said the 90s wrong, but whatever, you know.
I get that.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, I remember we were chatting in his call, and like Art and I, we just kind of just basically like hit it off, like back and forth, and we just chatted just for a while. A real similar take on what we look for in movies, and I was like, absolutely send an audition tape because I really wanted to work with you.
Yeah, I had that feeling too. I think within 10 minutes of we were on a Zoom meeting. I think within 10 minutes I knew right away. I was like, this guy, I like this guy. I know this guy knows what he's doing. Just from the dialogue we had, and I had seen one or two of his previous projects, and they were quality, and that kind of gave me confidence to pursue this one. I knew whatever he was going to do, however it was going to be shot, I had confidence in him as a filmmaker, which made it comfortable to go after the role and to be in the project.
Awesome. Dylan, what about you?
Yeah, so again, with 2020, I didn't do any acting gigs all that year just because everything was shut down. And also, I didn't really know anybody in the DFW business because the Chicago film and theater business is so different than down here. So I had only like maybe 2 or 3 people that I really knew in the business, and that was really it. So I just started like adding all of these Facebook groups that had like casting calls for films. And also like I had done theater my entire life. And I kind of wanted to stray away from theater and try to focus on film because I wanted to just build my reel and just get more of a repertoire. So I found this project. My friend had sent it like via text and he was like, this sounds really cool. And I read the synopsis, I read the characters, and I was like, man, like I like, and like the fact that we're all like 20-year-old guys, I'm like, that's perfect. Frat, I can play a frat boy, absolutely. So then kind of led one way to the other, and I like as soon as I submitted it, I was like, man, I really hope they, because like also I had submitted a bunch of different projects via like Facebook and film, and I wasn't hearing anything. And people sometimes respond, people sometimes don't respond. So you don't even know if you even got an audition, or they don't even tell you yes or no. So I was like, I just need something. And then as soon as I heard back from Eugene, I was like, okay, I have a chance. So then I, read the side, and Tony doesn't really speak a lot but like what Eugene was looking for was a lot of reactions, kind of looking for that, like building a whole story with just the reactions. So that was like, oh, that's a challenge. Okay, I can do that. So I like put everything into it. I made sure like I wasn't looking too far away from like my focal points because I was like, I want to make sure I nail this. And so I did.
I see what you did there.
There you go. There you go. There you go. And then
it's going to be like the word of the day. It's just like every time somebody says it, everybody's like, ah. Sorry, that's a Pee Wee reference.
Pee Wee Herman.
For anyone who doesn't remember. Fuck, this guy's old.
I love that. But yeah, so Eugene called me back, and I looked up his website. I was like looking at the synopsis, and they were wanting to make a feature film out of it if they won Rack Focus. I was like, hell yeah. So one thing led to another, and then it took like maybe a few days to finally hear back, and I was like squirming in my chair, just looking at my email every day, being like, I know it's a 10-minute short, and there's so many shorts that are in DFW, but I want this one. Like, I really, really want this one. Don't know why, but this is like, I just have a good feeling about it. And sure enough, it happened, and yeah, the rest is history. So loved it.
Well, it was a lot of fun. You did a fantastic job, especially when you were lying there on fire.
Oh yeah,
spoilers.
That was all me.
Yeah,
all you. Great fire stunt.
I got to be honest. When I wrote that, I was a little concerned because it's supposed to be a 10-minute short, and it was like, but you know what we need? You know what the script is? Because when I did the concept, I just pulled like what I consider to be the best parts of it. I just kind of condensed down the kills, combined some characters just to make it really, really streamlined, make it easy. But I was like, there's this moment. It's like, this thing needs fire. There's fire in the feature. There needs to be fire. Like something, it looks so fucking good when you put it on film, and it's just creepy. And I wanted that creepy moment, kind of the reveal, like holy shit. And I was concerned because I was like, I'm going to give this to Eugene. He was like, we can't do a fucking fire stunt. Are you out of your mind? But I was like, no guts, no glory. I headed to him. I was like, hey, man, go set something on fire. He was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do that. Hell yeah. I get the fire marshal on the phone. I'm like, you're just going to call the fire marshal? I was like, yes. Like,
everyone was so excited for that.
That was, I remember like we did like a table read, and I think it was just me and Gabriel. I don't think Art was able to make it. And Eugene had explained that they were going to call in a fire marshal for like a whole burning thing. I was like, oh my God. Awesome.
I mean, it's not a horror film unless something's on fire. All right, Gabriel, give us what kind of about this film drew you in?
Yeah, so I actually saw Eugene. I met Eugene at the Rack Focus Mixer. So Rack Focus, they kind of like separated to they have like these pitch sessions, and that's where I saw Eugene. He pitched his film, and I was like, damn, I gotta be in that. I'm such a horror fanatic, I love everything gruesome and gory, and I was like, this is gonna be just a bloodbath, and I want to be killed.
Murder me, Eugene.
Please. So I came up to him, and Eugene was literally like one of the people that stuck out to me during that session, because he already had a plan laid out. He had a script. He knew where he was going, and some of these film festivals, you'll find people who don't normally, don't know what they're doing, don't know how to run a pre-production, post-production, and I knew that Eugene was going to come out with something.
Yeah,
that's what I was hoping for.
I don't know. I was like, I was overbearing, being like, "Hey, have you like posted anything about auditions today?" He's just like, "Hold on, like, I'll be sure to like let you know."
Us actors are so
like,
desperate.
Okay. Well, just like refreshing the Facebook, just like, give me a chance,
Right. You see,
but,
it's so nice to hear this, because I wrote this thing and Johnny's like, "So where's my part?" I was like, okay, I'll fit you in somewhere.
That's not what happened.
You're a big guy. You're a
it.
big guy. I guess muscle. So here we go. This will work.
Everything.
Yeah. Jeez. What
Imagine
happened
him
was-
strapped
that
to the
is-
chair.
Yeah. What I said was,
I would pay a lot of money to see that.
I said, "Hey, Eugene, do you need somebody to mop the floors?"
There you go. the killer needs a janitor to clean up her mess.
Just
Brandon
blood
in the
for you.
I mean,
All right.
Oh man.
So with this being a 10-minute short, and there was a lot of production that went into this, a lot of production value. I think that's what really set this film apart from everything else that was there. Not that Rack Focus had bad films. I think every one of the films there had something about it that made it stand out from each other or from one another. But with this being such an intense film, what was it like with the shoot?
never done an overnight shoot before. It was very different. And being able to see the sunrise, it was just weird. And just working all night. It's a whole different monster. And my friend who's a director, he was like, yeah, overnight shoots are like a whole different ballpark. And so once you did, you don't realize it's a whole different undertaking for sure.
Yeah, I knew going in. And can we drop a few spoilers, guys, or can we say?
Yeah, I think we can drop a few.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, the film has like torture in it, and that was one of the things that kind of stood out, I think, when we all initially read the script. And when you're reading like a torture scene or you're trying to play a torture scene, you kind of have to bring things to another level, And before I even got to Dallas, I was kind of anticipating that it was physically going to be the most difficult scene that I ever shot. Just where you would have to take it, mentally and physically, and just the level you would want to be at to sell it. And so I knew that going in. My entire preparation process was anticipating that and preparing up for that, just not only with the character but physically as well. And when we got to shooting the torture scene that I was in, it actually was a lot smoother than I had anticipated because of the way that we shot it. And Eugene and I kind of worked out a little shorthand before, because we knew we were going to be running a lot of different takes. during it. We knew that we were going to be doing at least 5-10 takes throughout the evening, and just figuring out the levels that each take kind of needed to go to, because you can't go like 100% for like 10 takes getting tortured. That's it's by the end of the ninth take, you're not going to be good for 10. So we kind of figured something out with that, and also the way it was shot, it was kind of split up into different segments. So there was time in between in which the fantastic, amazing makeup team.
Shout out to the makeup team.
I feel like they did all the work.
and then when the cameras rolled again, it would be good to go. So it was challenging going in, but the way it was handled was fantastic.
So piggybacking off that, Katarina, what was it like to torture Art? And the rest of
I don't want to put him on the spot, but Art was like, "Oh, don't bruise me, don't bruise me." And I'm like, "Dude, this nail gun weighs like 20 pounds. I have to hold it with one hand. This thing's heavy as hell." I look back at the and you guys did like excellent editing in the film, because I feel like I'm being too gentle in the film. But it's
and you
cut.
couldn't see.
Yeah, I couldn't see. Every time every time they were like, "All right, action," I put the visor down and it just instantly fogged up. The moment I breathed, it just fogged up. So I was seeing like shapes and stuff.
Nice.
The weight of the nail. When was this?
What?
When was there? I didn't complain about the weight.
I'm not saying complaining.
Now I don't know. I believe Katarina there, Art, because I remember when we were rehearsing for me throwing you out of the bar. That was kind of fun. The first time during rehearsal, the first time I threw you out of the bar, you're like, "Hey, Johnny."
Oh, that's a totally
calling out Art out.
So Art pulls me aside. He's like, "Hey, Johnny, can I get you to bring it down?"
Is he doing like a George?
You were like, almost broke my neck,
What is that movie? What is that film with George Clooney with the two, when he and George Clooney and the other guy are about to fight, but they're both actors? It's like, we're gonna fight. It's like, "Oh, but wait, don't hit me in the face. I got an audition next Tuesday." It's like, "All right, okay. Oh, wait, don't kick me here because I gotta go."
Oh, Anchorman.
Anchorman. That's right.
Yeah, but we had Johnny. Do you remember we did something really cool before that scene? We kind of did like a little improv thing.
Yeah, right? That was fun. It was really good. Yeah,
we had been shooting, right, and then I think that was your first day as an actor on set, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And like before they were setting, it was raining that night, I remember, so that we were dealing with the elements and all that. And before we even shot the first take, like the first shot of the movie, you and I just kind of got into this improv thing where I was kind of like wising off to you, and you were kind of getting into your bodyguard mode, And then I think we had done one, when the cameras got rolling, we had done 1 or 2 takes, and you had chucked me out, and you were good. You were gentle with me, and I was like, hey, let's bring it up a notch,
that was the funniest part about it, because I think we did three takes, and after you asked me, "Hey, can you bring it down to about 50?" I was like, 50%. He was like, "Okay, then I need you to take it down to 10%."
Yeah.
And then I took it down to 10, and he was like, "Bring it up 5%.
What is like measuring cups?
But it was very next. It was a rehearsal take. It was a practice take, and you just cranked it up to like 100. And then I'm like, "Oh man, Johnny used to be a bouncer, man." You kind of just flashed back into that, and you just chucked me.
I remember I was there when they were I was there when they were shooting this. I remember Dylan and Gabriel were behind him because they got kind of a triangle thing going on, and they were behind him actually catching this dude as he's going. I was like, damn, man, holy shit.
Yeah, he almost like I remember at one point when Johnny threw Art, he almost like elbowed me in the face. I was like, man, we cannot. We cannot.
It was a little close there.
You want to talk about Art getting injured? I accidentally hit him in the abs.
Oh yeah,
in one of the takes.
Art, you're just a pin cushion. in
I
more ways than
know.
one.
I felt so bad for it.
Have any of you seen the original 1985 Nail Gun Massacre?
I saw it.
I have not yet, but it's on YouTube, right? You said, Eugene?
I don't know. I looked for it on YouTube, but I couldn't find it.
It's not on YouTube, but I have a copy of it.
Oh, you have a copy of it? Okay.
Yeah, I have a copy. I can send you a copy of it.
Yeah.
I saw this free link. I think it was YouTube or it was some torrent, and it was just available. I was able to find it, and then there's a breakdown with someone like summarizing it in like 10 minutes, like
yeah, I saw that
or something, you know.
Yeah.
So I watched that first, and then I looked for the original, and then I was able to find the full movie somewhere, and then I tried to share it with Gabriel and Dylan, and then they had taken down the link or something.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
But I knew the amount of kills. I kind of knew the story, and I knew how it was shot, the cinematography, and all that. And then I was able to see the whole thing, and I'm like, oh wow, this is a classic, you know.
Yeah. That's a nice way of saying this was shot in the 80s.
80s blasters.
Yeah. Yep.
And you know, y'all got the legit rights to it, so that was the other element about it that made the project so much more legit. That you guys had gotten approval from the producers and the filmmakers there, and they gave the thumbs up to the project from the start.
Mm-hmm. And it meant a lot that because Lloyd's seen the clip and he loved it.
Oh, good.
He
Has
loved
he
it
seen
and
the
started
full thing
blasting
yet?
it out. I sent him a link, and I think JL sent him a link. I don't know if he's watched it yet.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. I've messaged him a couple of times, but Lloyd is as a producer, but he's also got Texas Frightmare Weekend, and because of the COVID, the COVID situations, everything, Texas Frightmare Weekend had to be pushed back all the way through 2020 and early 2021. So it was like supposed to be in April, then September, then it was supposed to be in April again, and now they pushed it to September. So I know he's dealing with prep for that, and they've got people like Malcolm McDowell is going to be there, and a bunch, a huge number of names are going to be at the convention. So I know he's dealing with that currently. Most likely he'll be in touch with me when he gets a chance to see it, or possibly because I'm pretty sure he's going to want to show this at TFW. So we're going to, we'll figure it out from there. But the minute he does watch it, I will definitely let everybody know.
Heck yeah.
Excuse me. Is this everybody's first horror film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was in a Slayer video, but it was kind of shot along the lines of a horror from the director, a very talented filmmaker named BJ McDonald. He's also a great camera guy. He did a trilogy of Slayer videos, and kind of had it was like ultra violent, so a lot of killing, a lot of blood. My colleague Jason Trost was in it. Danny.
Hello.
Yep.
Oh,
we lost Art.
Oh no.
We did.
I think it's about to say Danny Trejo.
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
Danny Trejo. Heck yeah.
He was about to say Danny Trejo. Well.
Well, shoot.
He may pop back in a sec, but Gabriel, you were about to say something.
Yeah, I was there was a short film sequence I was in, Happiest Days, and basically it's really short. It's like a couple of things, like a couple of family horror scenes, and I was actually with my wife. We had just gotten married. She's still in the wedding gown. I'm in my my wedding outfit. And I'm carrying up the stairs, and then it shows me taking her into the bathroom, and dropping her in the bathtub and then forcing her to drown herself, you know, just like drowning her. And and I was like, dude,
What a
this is
honeymoon.
fucking epic. Yeah.
You always hurt the ones you love.
Yeah.
And as I'm killing her, right? So like she has like this this trigger,
Just
right?
casually.
She has this trigger of like, well, supposedly the actress was like, hey, I'm afraid of drowning. And I was like, well, this is going to be fun to shoot, you know? I'm like, you know, getting into it, like, and she had this like trigger of like holding her hand up in the air if she like felt uncomfortable or like she needed to take a break. And so we're doing this, and I'm like forcing her, you know, I'm in character. And I see her hand come up. I'm like putting her hand down, you know. And then I'm like, half a second, I'm like, oh God, she's in trouble. So I pull her up, and she just goes, I need a second.
You forgot the safe word. Damn it.
Oh my God.
Pull her up. I'm ready for a divorce.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
That's wild, man.
But yeah, I mean,
safe word.
Yeah, right. While you're drowning. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this was a lot better, bigger budget, definitely, and better quality too. But yeah, this was a really fun one. So
I think it should be mentioned. I think it should be mentioned that I actually used to really hate horror films because I was a little shit for a long time and I just could not handle jump scares. And also some torture specifically I can't handle. But as you know, when 2020 happened, my girlfriend Caitlin is obsessed with horror films. And she was like, I don't care if you don't like them. We're going to watch all the classic horror films, blah, blah, blah. And so then I was like, fine. And then as I watched them, I'm like, ooh, like there's some good shit here. Like there's some there's some good shit here. And then when this project came around, I was like, I never thought I would be auditioning for a horror film. And then as soon as like being like in a horror film, you kind of learn, especially like a slasher horror film, you kind of learn the ins and outs of like how it works and how much goes into it. And it's fascinating. And you also just realize how much people just love horror films.
Yeah.
Like it's such a big market.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, and he is back. And
There he is.
There's
there
our
we go.
Stranger. There you are.
Hey.
Something happened with my connection, so this happened during one of our Zoom meetings too. I'm on the phone now.
we're all curious, and you got interrupted about halfway through. You said Danny, and then you cut out. So the guess is that you were going to say Danny Trejo.
I was absolutely going to say Danny Trejo, and you know what?
Nice. The man, the myth, the legend.
Gave me a chance to think of some other people, and Derek Mears came in and did some violent stuff in it. Derek Mears from Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a big dude. I had the pleasure of meeting him one time at Texas Frightmare Weekend, and he was sitting down, and I approached him. I was like, "Oh, hey, it's from the new Friday the 13th." So I was going to go to get his autograph and everything. And he goes, and then I was like, it was near the end, so I'm standing nearby, and I was talking to somebody, and I turned around, and literally, you couldn't time it better. I'm like, da 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 da. I got my pictures. Like, thanks so much. Talk to this person. Go to turn around. He stands clean up, and I'm like, "Hey, oh my God." So short, and he's just like, "What's up?" And that was it. But yeah, when they're standing in front of you, there you go.
But yeah, that wasn't technically a horror project. Those Slayer videos, BJ McDonald, the director of it, he had done Hatchet 3. He came in and directed one of the movies in the Hatchet series, and then he just made those Slayer videos like ultra violent. So there was a lot of killing, a lot of blood.
So just like an everyday Slayer concert.
Yeah.
But this was my first horror.
Your first horror film.
So a quick question that I have. I know Johnny's got his deal, but I just got to ask. So Gabriel, Dylan, Art, and first time dying on screen.
I'm trying to think.
I love how Art shook his head like, no.
I mean, as
I've done a couple times.
I don't. Yeah, as far like on camera, no, especially to the extent that Tony dies. No, not to that point.
So what you're saying is you've never been burned alive.
He was dead long before the fire.
Oh yeah,
that's the
exactly. Yeah, like way before.
way dead.
I don't want to give anything away, but let's just say the makeup designers were working all night on specifically the death.
Shout out to the makeup designers. You guys are amazing.
Well, and what was also really cool was Haley was like the head makeup designer, and she brought Kasim and Katarina in, and they have like their own like horror gore like company and everything. And so like when I got there at 7:00, I saw Kasim with like just one thing, and then they saw like how I looked and the hair and the beard, and Kasim was like, okay, we got to get this done before the sunrise or whatever. And it was like maybe 6-7 hours goes by, and like the stuff they came up with in that amount of time, it's so impressive.
No, different Katarina, by the way, not me.
Oh yeah, there's another Katarina. Makeup Katarina.
It was my first time to get slain.
Right on the spot.
Gabriel, it was your first time?
Yeah. It's my first time, and I freaking loved it. Like Dylan said, the makeup team was freaking phenomenal.
Like next level.
And I mean, it had an extensive makeup on me, and I was just like, "There's no way." And I have a picture. I want to show Eugene. I'll send it to you. It's one of the goriest looking things I've ever seen on myself. I was like, God, that's what I'm gonna look like if I die this way.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it was fun.
Dying on screen is a blast, and I've been fortunate when I was years and years ago when I was doing when I was acting steadily. I got to die. I've gotten to die twice, and the first time my character was shot in the throat, so it was just like blood everywhere like this, but it wasn't supremely graphic. It was just like, hey, let's just pour blood all over your freaking neck and chest and everything, and it was like I like that, whatever. But the second time was because you guys have particularly graphic murders in this one. It's really hardcore. But the second time that I died, I was poisoned, and you always get to do fun stuff when people are dying, makeup and effects like this. But this one was really simple. It was just, okay, you're gonna lie down, you're gonna be writhing like you're poisoned to death, and then we're gonna stick Alka-Seltzer in your mouth and pour water in there, and that's pretty much it. So, and we're gonna be filming for about like a minute and a half. So try not to drown while you're like, while you're staying in frame.
Oh my God!
Try not to drown while you're dying, please.
While you're trying to die while we're filming your death, and don't struggle too much because then you'll bump it out of frame. Then we got to do it all again. It's like fantastic.
Yeah.
So I know that
what we're trying to tell you is that your death is an inconvenience to us.
And so filming death scenes is typically Wild presents their own challenges, and given the extremity of your guys' scenes, I mean, as brutal as they were, obviously they're a lot of fun. Of course, the makeup itself sells it because it was, what they did was extraordinarily. I was looking at it, I was like, holy fuck, I didn't even imagine that.
I know. Well, and the fun and the really exciting thing was, I don't know about everyone else, but like I only saw the clip and stills of like stuff that Eugene posted in the group, and just to see it like on the big screen, it was just like I did not expect to see it like exactly like how. It was.
I knew we were onto something when crew members had to look away from the monitor.
It was so weird. I got to experience all the gore like firsthand, like right in front of me, of course. And then I see it on the screen, and it looks so much different in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming everyone here has seen the film. I know that everybody except for Art. Art is back, of course. Have you seen the film?
I have seen the film actually.
So did it turn out as expected, better than expected, worse than expected?
I would say as expected. I don't know if I can say this or not, but I remember having a conversation with Eugene. I'm like, I know what you guys are doing. I know you guys are trying to win this competition with it. So after we had worked out the details of the whole situation, I was like, I will do everything that I can on my side, in my power, to help contribute to that. Whatever I can do. And
Oh my gosh!
He's got Art has this amazing way. Yeah, he's got this amazing way to time his exits at the
every interview is a cliffhanger with Art. Every interview is a cliffhanger.
Amazing.
Everybody's just deeply
we have
enthralled.
the inside joke. The inside joke that every time something like this happens, it's because Statham is calling. And that it goes from, it's an old story. It's an old story harkening back to Sean Patrick Flannery and Norman Reedus making fun of Clifton Collins Jr. after the second Boondock Saints film. And it was like Clifton, it was like he's worked with everybody. And, Norman and Sean are just kind of like, yeah, we're doing our indie stuff and things like that. But Clifton is huge. He's worked with everybody. So every time Clifton would get a call, he'd be like, like this. Hey, man, I'll talk to you later. And he's like, oh, sorry, Statham. And so and so every time one of us gets interrupted, it's like, oh, sorry, Statham. So obviously Statham is calling Art. So, and it makes sense because Crank too. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Hey, he's back.
He's back.
Had to get a drink.
Yeah, sorry, my connection. My bad.
That's all right. That's all right. So, how many of you, Dylan? You weren't a fan of the horror genre. Gabriel, you were. Art and Katarina, what about you two? Were you guys already horror film fans, or is this kind of new territory for you?
I love horror stuff. It's weird. I like the setting usually of the horror, but I just don't like the stories. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's like I play a lot of video games, and one of my favorite horror series video games is like Dead Space, and I love the setting and everything, but I just hate like the execution of the story. I'm like, oh, it's so dumb. Like such and such should have happened. Like, so I don't know. It's kind of weird for me. I have a love-hate relationship. I don't know if that's what you want to call it.
We're all waiting for Art. We're waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, I have watched the classic horror movies over the years. Growing up in the 80s, all the classics, the Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Street. But never really was able to do anything in the horror. And that's not the thing that really appealed with this project. It was something new. It was something I never did it before, and it was fun to try to do a role in your show. And just thinking back on something that we talked about before, it's like I had an idea, I had confidence that it was going to be a good production, a good shoot. And I knew there, like after the first day I got there, I met the team, and I met the cast, and I met the crew that the production was tough, that everybody knew what they were doing, and then that just gave me confidence that when it was completed, it did come out with the final cut that it was going to be good. So it was pretty much I had very good expectations, and it absolutely met my expectations. That's a horror.
That's awesome. I've only got two more questions. So we'll give you guys the easy one first. So if you were to return for the feature, would Would you want to play the hero, the anti-hero, the villain? What would you want to do?
I feel like the hero and the villain are the same character. I mean, I'm just saying.
I'll do anything, man.
We're actors. We're desperate. We'll be the background if we have to. Just get us on film.
Just give us a role.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say anything antagonist, specifically, preferably antagonist, or any kind of.
So much fun playing the villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like our role was really fun. Playing the three guys who were kind of like definitely in the wrong, douchebag. Sorry if I'm not allowed to cuss. Type. Like
what the fuck are you talking about?
It's just fun playing those characters, because I'm always trying to be the nice, happy-go-lucky guy, and then when you get to play a dick online, or on a film, you're like, dude, this was so much fun, And then definitely, like, I've only dreamt about getting blood and guts all over every crevice of my face and body, and literally I got off set and there was blood everywhere. I just took off, and it was raining. It was raining the day of my my film, and I took off my shirt. It was wet. I was. People were helping out with so much, because I was just, dude, this is a lot of blood. But, yeah, I mean, also playing the killer would be fun. I mean, I think Katarina had a lot of fun. I mean, I know the nail gun was heavy, and the backpack she has on was insane. And the biker helmet always fogged up. But man, you looked badass in this film. You looked badass. I was like, dude, that looks sick. She's just over here bah, bah, bah. You get a nail, and you get a nail. Everyone gets a nail.
All right. So here's the most important question I have. Okay. Who is the best bouncer in the history of bouncers, and why is it Johnny O?
Oh man, that's so hard.
Oh man, I don't think I'm ever going to that bar again.
Bouncer, you just no one talks about it.
I will say, if I went to a bar and Johnny was the bouncer, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't be fucking with anything.
Yeah. I would definitely feel safe if I worked at that bar and Johnny was the bouncer.
There we go. All right, that's all I've got for you guys. I'm sure JL and whoever this other guy is, I even forgot his name. Whatever, that guy next to me that way. So he's got something to say.
Yeah, just only the director. That's it.
He didn't do really anything on the project. Yeah.
I definitely want to give an opportunity for anybody in our live chat, if they have questions for any of the guests, to definitely just tag Week in Horror, and we'll jump along and we'll grab them as they come in. So if any questions happen to come in,
Mandeville's got one for us.
Oh yeah, we do have a question.
Mandeville says, was any real blood or animal bits used in the gore scenes, or was it all makeup?
So we actually used a little bit of animals in the head crush scene. There's a little bit of a makeup artist knows somebody who owns a butcher shop and was able to get some stuff. Now all the blood and the rest of the film is all fake, but yeah, there's a nice head crunch in there that has some real blood and guts in it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not getting sprayed with real blood. I don't care if you want to get the shot right.
No, it wasn't real blood at all.
Not at all.
That was a really, really, really long night for me. Okay.
Yeah,
that's funny.
But it was awesome. I worked with Haley before, and she read the script, and she's like, let me get back to you in a couple of days to see if I can do this. I'm not even sure. So she talked to Kasim and the other Katarina, and they're like, "Yes, let's do this. I don't care what it takes for doing this." And Haley calls me back. She's like, "Yeah, I think we can do this."
Didn't she need like a budget or something for it this time?
Oh yeah. We spent over $1,000 on core effects.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Wow, you really stretched it too, because it was done very well. So yeah.
No guts, no glory.
Nailed it. Oh,
there it is.
You said the word.
I will let myself. Charlie Welch has got a question. Yeah.
Yes. Do any of the actors want to be involved if and when this is revisited to make a feature length?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, I'm tired of killing him.
Absolutely.
I think we'd all like to be involved.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, do you want work? They're like, I'll take that. You know?
This is already a dream come true. That would be like an even like bigger dream come true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I get a line this time?
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe.
Depends upon my mood, how much I'm drinking that day. So we'll find out. Yeah.
Well, so do I need to get you more or less drunk?
More.
Okay. Noted. There's actually two questions there. Sir Little Wolf says, "Will Johnny O get to speak?" And Mandevil says, "A line of what?"
Think about that.
Charlie Welch says, "Was anyone actually scared of the gang involved in the warehouse?"
Wait,
you're talking about over at the fabrication yard?
Yes.
Oh, was that the night I showed up late?
I
heard.
I'm not gonna lie.
That was
like
the night.
I don't want to that was the third night, right?
Yeah, I think Art and I were in that scene.
Yeah, the third
right
night.
and Katarina and it was like the whole car sequence, and there was like a lot of cars were just racing down this like desolate street, and like there was loud music playing, and like at one point there was like I feel like 15 guys approached the film set, and you could tell they've never like seen a film set before, because they're just kind of like, "Hey, what's going on? Like we're here yelling over here," and Art's like, like his car scene, and these guys are just like, "Hey man, what's going on?" And like I don't want to spoil anything, but I have this thing on me, and they're like, "Is that where's his you know, like is that a dead body? I got popped up. Is it just sliding?" Oh man. But
I didn't know that they were was that a gang? Because there was so much stuff going on that day.
I know you said
there was a bunch of people. They were racing. They had their cars there, and they were doing some stuff with the cars. There were some people taking graduation photos.
I know. I was saying the same thing. When I got that, I was like, "What? Why are you getting graduate? Like, all this graffiti on the wall in this warehouse, and people have these graduation photos."
Because that was not the original location. That was kind of like a Plan B location, because something happened with the original. So we had to move to that fabrication yard. And I remember when I got, I think the Uber who took me to set, I took an Uber. He was like, "Dude, this place is fucking, excuse me, this place is awesome."
What the fuck did you just say, Art?
God damn it!
Oh, it's the internet. All right.
Yeah, save the F-bombs for the movie.
Right? And
yeah, right, Art, the cursing this motherfucker in the whole film. Like,
I know. I remember. I asked him like, "Eugene, okay, when's my cue for this?" Oh, he says, "What the fuck?" I'm like, he says that every like 5
20 times.
Oh yeah, I mean, literally, he had like an F-bomb in every line. Question for you, JL. That's a lot of F-bombs.
I wanted to showcase your mastery of the versatility of the word.
Right. JL had a lot of fucks to give.
and I gave them all to art.
All to art.
But the fabrication, there was just a lot of stuff. There were people taking graduation photos, and then I remember they did approach set, but I never was really scared of that group that came, because they seemed kind of respectful. You know, they didn't make any noise, and they were just standing there watching. They had some of them were drinking, and they were just kind of chilling, but they didn't disrupt the shoot like when they were on the set. You know, the stuff they were doing down the road was kind of loud, and it was another challenge to try to shoot around that, because that's a big challenge, because it's disrupting the entire sound design of the shoot, you know. So just even to time the shoots, like the takes, like in between, was a big challenge for the production. And then they cleared out like maybe before midnight, I think. They weren't there till like all night, and then we just kept on going till like dawn. You know?
Yeah, we ran out of time.
Yeah, was. So I actually sent our other producer, Jason, over there. I was like, okay, we need some dialogue. Can you get them to turn their music off? And so Jason walked over there, and I kind of walked over there a little bit afterwards. And I mean, they had like face tattoos and all this other kind of stuff, but they were really nice.
Dang.
They were nice.
They were like, yeah, we'll turn our music off.
Wow.
Nice. And I was like, well, hey, if you turn your music off, you can come watch us film. And they all got like excited about it. Yeah. So they turned the music off, and they all like ran around. And that was it.
Cool. Nice.
It was like training day, except not.
That's hilarious. I can see Eugene like walking up to like these scary motherfuckers over there, just blasting their music and shit, and they're all like turning around like face tattoos, just looking all hard. Like, hey guys, we're shooting a movie over here. Just a little down like that.
Guys, can I ask you a favor? Could you just keep it down a little notch?
Yeah, bro, we'll turn the music down.
God. I mean, shout out to Kayla, the sound mixers. Like she overcame a lot of, like, I remember our first night of shooting, it was just car after car driving by, planes flying by, and like, so she we had to reset because she had to like make sure that there was no sounds whatsoever. Like it was a lot of obstacles of sound.
That was huge, because I was when I did my little set visit, and I was out at the ranch house, which is the location where the boys get kicked out by Johnny, where he chucks them out. That's right next to a highway, and
very busy street.
Very, very busy. People going out both directions is kind of like, ah, dang it. So yeah, we're like, everybody's watching out, waiting for a break in the traffic so that they could jump in there and shoot. And
there was a train track too, and I remember there was like a whole train that went by at one point. Yeah,
not to mention the rain, not to mention the weather, because it was like, and then overcoming all the weather, the traffic, normal people. We had, I think there was one guy who came and was like, I thought you guys were open. I was in here to get some food.
I mean, Kayla did such an amazing job. Even the judges were like, "Who is your sound designer?"
That was the first person that got praised when we stood up there. She did
I was
really
like,
good job.
we don't give a crap about the director. Who's your sound designer?
It was such a beautiful moment, because it was her first time doing sound on a film. And so
and here she is, this little teeny tiny person.
I know, she's so
sweetest person you'll ever meet.
She really is. She was really sweet.
She's so sweet.
And they're singing her praises, and she has no idea what to do. She's looking like, what do I do right now? I was like,
all eyes on her. It's like, you stand up, we're calling you out. And it's like, what?
You fucking enjoy it. That's what you do.
Yeah, right.
What also kills me is that, like, the amount of people they just threw on to help out with this. Like my girlfriend Kaylin came on set, because she was like, I just want to experience it. And I like messaged Eugene and I was like, do you need more help on set? And then as soon as she got on, she was a boom operator. She was doing the slate. She was doing like makeup, and she had never done anything film wise ever before. And now she's credited on IMDb. So, you know,
Yeah.
things happen.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, which is awesome. So.
Very cool. I see. Yes, and Johnny, I did get that Facebook post because we're friends on there that you're finally on IMDb as well. So congratulations, Johnny.
Hey,
There you go. There you go.
No, it took me 40 years.
A few of us behind the scenes, like especially myself, feel like this was a big win. This was a big win for everybody, and I'm kind of feeling like David Della Rocca over here from Boondock Saints because like 20 years been grinding away trying to get something, and finally be able to land something somewhere, and it was because of all of y'all. So I'm kind of like, oh, this is so great. And of course, where this is going to lead, the future of this is just, it's just nothing but bright things, and I can't wait. I mean, I'm chomping at the bit to get to it. As soon as I finish the feature, as soon as I finish the food, my mic. As soon as I finish the feature script, I'm going to give that off to Eugene, and we'll just see where this goes. So it's going to be a blast. All of you guys. Every one of you and everybody in the live chat, I mean, shit, this is like a dream come true for me. So
it is awesome.
100% agree.
Israel
100%
did message me. Israel did message me. He's in charge of the competition. He has already sent it off to the studio, so just waiting for feedback now.
Right on,
dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, ITN.
Nice.
Tell him I won $1 million contract.
right.
Okay, so I need everybody to submit their writers now.
As long as I get to throw art for real this time, we're good.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
This is a fun question. Okay, so say big things do occur. What's the one thing you want in your writer? Katarina, what's the one thing you want in your writer?
I have no idea what that means.
Okay, so a writer is a list of things that you must have when you're on when you go to work. Like you need to have these things, like like the rock star who needs a jar full of only brown M&Ms.
Or Ozzy wouldn't take the stage,
or he won't take the stage. So So Katarina, what is the number one thing in your writer?
I don't know. You put him on the spot here. I mean.
Well, I gotta give them time to think about it.
Oh, so you put the person who's never done this at all before. I don't know. I want a trailer. I want a trailer for my cat just so she can be on. I don't know.
A trailer for her cat. There you go. All around. Gabriel, what do you want? What's the one thing you want in your writer?
I'll probably say. Oh man, that's hard. Probably sweet tea.
That's a good idea.
If you give me some sweet tea, man, I'll do anything for you. You know.
Well,
there you go.
That's noted.
Well, they are in Texas. So.
Yeah.
Dylan, number one thing in your writer?
Air conditioning. I don't care. That's the one thing about me. Like that was one thing I learned on set is that I'm a sweaty motherfucker.
What are you complaining? Did you see what I was wearing every day?
Fair. But I was in a t-shirt and jeans, and I was sweating my balls off. And Haley had to apply foundation like maybe 5 fucking times every time I was like about to go. I'm like, oh, my face is oily and God.
He's wearing jeans and the long sleeve undershirt. Katarina's like full body getup, completely covered.
I can't even see.
Wearing equipment. It's like so
20-pound nail gun in one hand, like 30-pound backpack.
Oh God.
So Art, big number one thing in your writer.
Oh man, I don't know if I can answer this, man.
Oh shit!
very low maintenance guy you're talking to here, man.
Oh.
But I don't know. I'd say fresh fruits for the crew and the cast, just the good stuff, and enough makeup removal Claw. It's the kill the claw.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, can I change my writer? I want a lighter nail gun and backpack. I don't care if it's made out of foam.
Ivy Gentry's in the live chat said, somebody's going to say 10 pounds of gummy bears and a gallon of Cool Whip.
Oh,
That's exactly what I was going to say. Exactly what I was going to say when JL asked me.
Cool Whip. No thanks.
And
that is awesome.
Man Devil says a setting dial on Johnny O.
Yes. Yes.
Love that.
Oh man. Well, this has been absolutely amazing to have all of you guys take the time out of your schedules to come and visit us. This has been great. I know that everybody in the chat absolutely adored getting to meet y'all and hear about the individual stories as to making nail gun, and just this process has been absolutely amazing. And so I wanted to give an opportunity as we are closing up to obviously give you a huge thank you and congratulations on the big, huge win at Rack Focus. Now, before we roll credits on tonight, we wanted to go each one of you and find out if there's anything coming up for you that you'd like to plug to the audience, any social media where they can follow you, anything that you're not under wraps or NDA that you can talk about. We'll start with Katarina. Anything else coming up for you, or where can people follow you at?
Well, I'm still new to all this, so I'm still working on my social media. You can I have a pretty unique name. I think you can just Google me, Katarina Mahan. I don't know if my name is still down there. But yeah, I have Facebook. I'm working on my Instagram. I really need to learn how to use Twitter. I don't even know how to use it. I'm still learning Instagram. And yeah, I have a couple projects that are coming up that I don't know if I can disclose them. Probably not. I probably shouldn't say anything about them. But yeah, I have a couple things coming up.
Fantastic. Excellent. Art, what do you have coming up?
I've got a movie in a film series I'm in. The series is called The FP. We've got two that came out already. FP1 and Beats of Rage, which was part 2, and part 3 is FP3 that is going to be coming out later this year in October. And you can come catch us on Facebook at the Omega Gangsters of the FP Cinematic Universe page. And we'll have details about the upcoming FP Festival and an FP3 Escape from Baco later this year in October.
Awesome. Any social media where our listeners could possibly follow you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much Artsu, ARTHSU, just about everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, just Artsu. And yeah, just type me in and you should be able to find me.
Fantastic. Gabriel, what do we got with you?
Yeah, so I produced and wrote my first short film, Beyond Dusk, and it premiered at the Rack Focus Film Festival. So we're really excited about how it turned out. So we're in the middle of putting that together for film festivals. So very much luck would be appreciated. Follow me on Instagram at GNP3. Follow me there. I'm going to be acting a lot. I just got cast in Halloween Horror Nights for 2021.
Dude,
so
awesome.
I might be moving out to LA. Art, I'll be hitting you up soon. And yeah, for sure. Maybe a nail gun reunion is coming. But yeah, I'm really excited about the new opportunities. But yeah,
he's also in Excalibur, Ty's project.
Yeah.
That was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, he plays
wacky and weird.
He plays a general with sergeant stripes. How does that work?
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
What you got, Johnny?
Yeah.
Any social media or anything that our listeners can follow you at?
Yeah, definitely. Instagram, GNP3. You can find me on Facebook, Gabriel Parker III. I post a lot of things on there. So, yeah.
Awesome. And Dylan, what you got?
Yeah, so I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram at Dylan Todd Dylan. So my name's written twice. Find me on there. I'm on Facebook. I post on there pretty frequently. Yeah, and then as far as projects go, talking to some people, getting some stuff going. Yeah, just some stuff in the burner. Continuing to audition around DFW and just kind of making it happen, collaborating as well. So yeah, little things here and there. But yeah, so Instagram, TikTok, I'm on there. Give me a follow. Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Awesome. And to our lovely director, I wanted to give the opportunity for some final thoughts on this whole experience and working with this incredibly talented cast and the crew that you had behind you. What do you got, man?
Everybody blew my expectations out. I mean, I knew the acting had to be stellar in it to really sell the story, and every single one of y'all just you killed it. It was just there was magic constantly on screen, and any filmmakers out there, cast these people. You will not regret it. Work with them.
Right. He's talking about me.
As long as he doesn't have any lines, as long as he doesn't say anything.
I can't wait for the feature. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, the feature is gonna be badass.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much again. Katarina, Gabriel, Dylan, Art. It's been an absolute blast, and I know our luck,
guys. Appreciate
definitely.
It.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yep.
It was a pleasure. And we're going to close it out. So thank you guys so much. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Hang tight in the green room for a little bit, and we will set up for the After Dark session.
Right on.
All right. So thank you, man. God damn, this was a good fucking episode. You know what? On that's going to bring another episode of Week in Horror to a close. Thank you all so much for listening, and we truly hope that you enjoyed this kind of new format for the show. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. If you kind of dug us, spending a little bit more time with with our guests. So join us next week when we return to the original format and discuss The Intruder, 100 Bloody Acres, Body Cam, and Student Bodies. We'd like to send a special shout out to our amazing patrons who have helped us to make the show the success that it has become. Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. Visit us at weekinhorror.net, where you can find links to all of our episodes, our bios, our merch store at Teespring, and of course, enter your email for a permanent entry to win a mystery horror shirt every month, courtesy of $6shirts.com. For more horror entertainment, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Week in Horror. Followers get our daily splatter, a bit of horror info every single day, right to your feed. You never know what new terrors you may discover. Subscribe to our channel and smash that bell like a zombie head for all the latest updates from the show. We really hope you enjoyed the new live format, and we'd love to get your feedback. Be sure to leave us a comment below, as the interactions really help us with that dreaded algorithm. And lastly, if you truly love what we do here and you would like to and are able to support the production, you can through our Patreon. We have subscriber tiers as low as $1 a month, $1, and bonus and exclusive content and horror films every month for our higher tiers. However, if you prefer, you can support the show with single donations through our PayPal as well. Links to everything, including our huge Discord community where you can find film recommendations, trailers for the movies we talk about, trivia games, horror watch parties, and even interact with us directly, are in the description. And while this country is finally beginning to recover from recent events, we know that things are still really, really tight for a lot of people. And as always, simply commenting, liking, and sharing this show with your friends in the local horror community is the absolute best way to help us continue to grow. We appreciate each and every one of you for being the greatest audience a podcast could have. I am JL.
I'm Johnny O, and the other guy was Eugene Hawkins.
Oh, we lost him. Oh, shit. That's a damn shame. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We will see you next week. And as always, stay scared.